Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon if you are in the UK. Good morning if you are here in Cape Verde. As you can see, I'm not in the normal Pillow studios today. This is my background. Santa Maria, the island of Sal, and the chain of islands known as Cape Verde, and absolutely buzzing to be here today. So, normally, we are very prepared for these webinars. We have a full team behind us. We're in the recording studio. The lighting is perfect. The sounding is perfect. We know that the Wi-Fi is there. I have a team of amazing people behind me, all doing the audio. I've got Grace, I've got Milo, I've got a whole marketing team. I've got Robbie doing the cameras. However, today I am in Cape Verde. I am here on the hotel Wi-Fi. The national motto of Cape Verde is no stress. No stress. Everything is super, super laid back. That's the way I'm coming to you today. Now, I am on holiday, and it's not to boast by showing this beautiful, beautiful background. Not to boast, I'm on holiday, but there's a reason for this. There's a reason I am doing this here. Well, there's a few reasons. One, I've been on holiday 7 days now. I cannot stay away from the business. I love it. People ask me, they saw some social media and said, Scott, you surely don't wear pillow merchandise, pillow branded gear when you're on holiday. The answer is yes, a lot of the time. I can't switch off from business. So definitely 100% want to be here with you guys and answer your questions. And have a special live interview today. Now, if you're watching this live, you may just be tuning in to see what it's all about. If you're going to watch this on the record, I'm going to put this into the franchise information sequence, so you will see this at some point in your journey, and I want you to hear a different voice from me. You'll hear a lot of me. If you're interested in joining us in Pillow, you will have probably consumed between 10 and 20 hours of my video, my voices, my webinars, all the training, the free stuff we give you. I want to bring you someone else and someone truly, truly amazing. You're going to enjoy hearing her story, having her answer the questions that you are going to ask. Now, what I've done today, we left the UK a day before New Year. And we were doing a special offer for franchises. So very, very busy. I've been working the last 7 days, really. Although I don't see it as work, we've got lots of questions. I want to bring them to you on this webinar here. So I'm going to do the live Q&A of the questions from the last 7 days. I haven't got round to answer. I've done most of them. I've picked them, put them together, selected the most interesting ones. But rather than me answering them, I'm going to bring you a live interview from our best franchisee. The person, when you come into Pillow, you are going to love. It holds everything together. Robbie's supporting me back in the UK. He normally does all the sound. I know it's perfect. I don't need to think about it. I walk into the studio and Robbie has it all set up. A true professional here. No stress is what we are doing today. So let's rattle through this. If you're watching this, this is about our partnership opportunity for setting up a serviced accommodation business. If you haven't seen all the information that we have given you before, the full franchise webinar, we're not really talking about the franchise. We're not selling it. We're answering your questions. So if you're watching this and think, I don't understand what the proposition is, rather than 50 people setting up independent serviced accommodation businesses all over the UK, we want to bring them together. Stronger together is our motto. No stress is the Cape Verde motto. Stronger together is Pillow's motto. If we can bring 50 people together, all sharing resources, economies of scale, the network effect, we know we can deliver a much, much better service, 100 times better than individual management companies. And we can also help people be more successful than themselves. So if we expand that a little bit, we're taking people from zero knowledge and zero income or zero business in serviced accommodation. Holiday lettings, if we're here, we'll call it vacation rentals, short-term rentals. And we're taking them to industry experts. You're going to hear from Emma. And if you've ever came across Emma in any form, you will say she is a true industry expert, well through the £100,000 a year business. We're not here to be crude and talk about money on this webinar and share details, but taking people from employees with zero business to industry experts in our field, short-term rentals, service accommodation, vacation rentals, and building them a solid six-figure business and a work-life balance. I said at the start, there's a reason I am doing this, and the video here is all about work-life balance. And when I bring Emma on, that will become clear. Now, before I bring Emma on, people ask, Scott, You're given a guarantee. You guarantee to make, if people join you and they don't make a success of it, you'll give them their money back. Well, does that mean you can make everyone a six-figure successful industry expert and entrepreneur? Well, I'm going to give this two examples here. One is running a marathon, the other is getting a degree. Can anyone run a marathon and can anyone get a degree? Able-bodied people, able-minded people. If you pay a university or a college in the US to get you a degree, there's a good chance your coaches, your mentors, the systems, the training will get you a degree. So almost anyone could get a degree. Almost anyone or a coach could follow a running plan, go from couch, you see couch to 5K. Could anyone able-bodied run a marathon? The answer is yes, with the right plan, with the right structure. Now, if people don't turn up to lectures, they don't do their dissertations, they can argue with their instructors, they don't do anything, they don't submit their exams on time, will they get a degree? No. Even though they've been given the framework, even though all their other classmates have done it, probably easily, would that person get a degree? No. Likewise with a marathon, you're not going to get up and run. You're going to go out and piss on a Saturday night, miss your training plan, not do any training, and then at the end of a year, try to run a marathon having done nothing. Unhealthily drunk, you're not going to do the marathon. And that's the way I want to equate it. Can my team of expert trainers, property managers, marketers, make anyone a success? I would say yes, that they were able-bodied and able-minded. If they followed the training plan, if they said fuck it and didn't do anything that we taught them, then it's going to be nearly impossible. So I hope that makes sense. Now, more than enough of me, guys. I am going to bring on Emma Wolf to the stage here, because she is here on holiday. Emma, if you would like to join us, please. So Emma Wolf is here. I'm not going to say any words about Emma and absolutely waste her introduction. I am going to put some slides on here to give you a little taster about Emma. She doesn't know I've put these slides on, but this is a little snapshot of Emma's life in business, in charity, in her personal life, her personal and fitness goals. Emma, why don't you do an introduction of who you are, please?
Absolutely. Thank you, Scott, and thank you for putting all those pictures up so people get to see a little bit more about me. So my name is Emma, and I am the franchisee for Glasgow and Renfrewshire with Pillow. I've been doing this for, I think, about 7 years now. 7 years, 6-7 years. Absolutely love it. And to go back to the beginning, when I first started this, I was a housing officer. So I'd been a housing officer for 8 years, so I had a bit of experience with property. Prior to that, I had done a lot of sales and hospitality. I'd worked in the hotel industry, but it was for events, so it wasn't for the accommodation side. I've done gym sales and always kind of going from sales job to sales job. And my job in the housing office, it was a good job. It was a great job. Absolutely loved it. I had a nice, easy life, decent salary, had the dental, had the optical, had everything you would want from your career as such. But there was just something inside me that I wasn't 100% fulfilled. And that's one of the reasons that I started looking for something else. Now, bear in mind as well, when I was working, I was told when I was working. So I went in for a start time. I went in for a finish time. I had my set days that I worked. I had to get permission to have holidays off. And so I'm always kind of tied to that, having to get permission to do everything. This opportunity with Pillow was presented to me. And I thought, you know what, this sounds really good. It sounds like it's going to fit in with everything I am doing, and it would give me a little bit more control over my life. And as I say, I was working, had a really good salary, so that was a big thing to give up, if you like, as well. So talking to some of my friends and family, like, don't know if that's the right thing, Emma. You're going to give up a lot of benefits that are going with your kind of job for life, if you like. You know, Housing Association Council, a lot of people aspire to do that as well. And as I say, it was a great career. But for me, there was a little something in me that just wanted something different, and maybe controlling my own destiny is probably the way to put it, and controlling my own life. So I decided to start with Pillow. And I'll kind of leave that there.
Yes. Now, one of the questions we get asked, and we'll cover it's in the frequently asked question, guys, but if you've been in the industry, you've got a few properties, you've done some rent-to-rents, you're kind of in property or entrepreneurship, then that's fine. The progression and the jump is pretty easy. But going from full-time employee to full-time entrepreneur is it's one that's daunting, as you've said. But why don't you share with us a little bit about the journey from full-time employee and that employee mindset to managing Pillow as you go to the day that you made the decision to quit your job fully and go with Pillow?
Yeah, okay. So as I said, I was working full-time, and when I moved into working with Pillow, I wasn't ready to give up that salary, and I wasn't ready to kind of go full-time at it. So I did work with Pillow while I was full-time. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a bit of flexibility in the role that I had. So I was able to check my phone, I was able to check some emails at lunchtime, my tea breaks, and I was able to do appointments evenings and weekends. And that is essentially what I did. I did manage to get my first property on when I was working full-time, and that was absolutely amazing. What I will say is one of the first pays that I got from Pillow was £36. So I think the very first income that I got was £36. Now, bearing in mind I've got that salary coming in, so I've got that salary coming in at the end of the month, but that £36 meant more to me than that entire salary coming in. Why? Because I'd done it entirely for myself, and I was taking a chance to do something better with my life. So that £36 gave me the drive to keep going with it, to keep doing those evenings, to keep doing those weekends and put in those hours. Now, after 3 months, I could really see the potential in this, and I thought this is the direction that I want to go in. So after 3 months, I did reduce my hours. Again, fortunate enough to be in a position where I could request a job share role with my company. So I did that and ended up doing 17 hours with my full-time employment and 17 hours with Pillow. And that gave me the time to really, really build my portfolio. And what I will say is nobody teaches you business, see, unless you've gone to like kind of courses, had a business coach, that kind of stuff. You don't know. So at that time, I was really winging it. I'll be honest, I was winging it. And I just had an attitude that I wanted to make it work. And that's probably the thing that's made me successful, is I really had that desire to make it work, to get out of that full-time employment. So that kept going for about 8 months, because I started with Pillow, I believe, in October, November. And it was August the following year where I finally handed in my notice. Now, I had been going to loads of networking events. I'd met loads of business coaches. I surrounded myself with people with an entrepreneurial mind. And I learned from them. I learned from my peers, and I absorbed all the information and the way they acted. So when it came to the August, it was actually somebody in one of those networking circles that said to me, like, why are you still working? You know, you've got so much opportunity to do more with this thing that you're doing with Pillow. Why don't you go in and quit tomorrow? And I was like, do you know what? I need to do it, because that's going to give me that chance to grow to my full potential. And that's what I did. I went in and I quit my job and never looked back.
And you did have people there with an entrepreneurial mindset, remember. And just to say, guys, 7 years ago, and in fact, even in 2023, where we didn't have what we have now, 7 years ago, there was nothing. Emma self-trained herself. She kind of saw what I did in the office. There was no coaches, there was no mentors, there was no training system, no online training academy. So when I think of it, it's really only really been 3 years of solid franchise stuff that you've had. And again, even watching this is the first week I've recorded this in January. And even now, the things we're going to have in place in January is probably 3 times as good as we had in 2023. I just popped into my head now. Entrepreneurial people with businesses will say, go for it, take that risk. Why would you be in an employed role when you could be an entrepreneur? But people that are employees have the opposite mindset. And I remember you telling me about what your colleagues that were employees said. What was their advice?
Their advice was absolutely not to do it. Like, why would you give up the holidays? Why would you give up the flexi time? Because if any of you have ever worked for a council or local authority, you get kind of certain perks like flexi time, which seems like an amazing thing at the time, that you can start any time between 8 and 10, and you can finish any time between 4 and 6, but you still need to do those hours. So people thought I was absolutely insane to give all that up when I could just have an easy life, and I call it an easy life. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Well, here's Richard asking, have I missed where you guys are? Yes, Richard, we're in Cape Verde, thankfully. 25 degrees here, which is why I'm drinking water. It's just after 11 in the morning here. We're from Scotland, so hot weather is not something we're accustomed to. So that is why it's not raining. And thank you very much for your kind words there, Richard. So let's move on. Your story. I want to bring the next thing, which would be this 2 weeks holiday. Now, Richard missed us at the start, said, where are you? We're in Cape Verde, and it's said at the start, Richard, it's important for us to say we're not here saying check us. We're in holiday doing the usual social media property bullshit of showing off, but it was important as to why Emma's on this live with us and why we're doing it from here. I wanted to drag Emma on today on holiday to share how a franchisee would build their business around commitments. I heard the phrase work-life balance, and actually we're changing that to life-work balance. So I wanted to pass back to Emma, use this as a case study. Now, you're away for 2 weeks, running well over a 6-figure business. We're not going to share numbers here, but well over a 6-figure business. You're taking 2 weeks off. Question one, could you have taken 2 weeks off and done zero work?
Yes, absolutely.
And secondly, you've probably done a little bit, but I would like you to share with the audience, how has that came about? How can you have a 6.5-figure business while taking 2 weeks off and not doing anything? In fact, I think this webinar may have been the biggest thing that you've done. So sorry about that on holiday. So Emma, use this as a case study. This holiday, what support have you got from HQ? What's happening behind the scenes? Because you're still getting paid. I'd definitely getting paid 5 figures this month if I'm adding it up right. You're getting 5 figures into your bank account for time when you're not here. So tell us, how's that possible?
Well, because I'm doing this in partnership with Pillow, there is a team on the ground who are there to answer the phones 24/7. I have a team in the office who are answering my emails, guest inquiries, anything that needs done with the properties. I've got people that are going out and about. So I could literally do nothing if I wanted to. Now, I say if I wanted to because that becomes a choice. And there is a couple of little things that I've done while I'm here. The things that I've done is getting new properties on, getting appointments signed up for when I get back to get new properties on and kind of boost my portfolio, and also looking at bookings and occupancy. But the day-to-day running of the portfolio, that's all covered for me. And I say all emergencies, etc., that's all covered by the amazing team at Pillow.
Nice, and we'll go into that in a little bit more detail, but that's why this was a case study of 2 weeks on holiday. As a solopreneur, I remember when I did it back in 2006, the emergency phone for nearly 8 years before I built a great team, 24/7. Imagine being away New Year's Eve running a service accommodation business. Your portfolio was 70 plus properties. You're going to be taking a lot of calls in New Year. In January, or your business would be stagnant. I know because I did it. I have a fantastic team of all the people behind the scenes running Pillow, but Emma's got the Mark leads up a CX team, customer experience team, probably 14 individuals answering calls, evenings and weekends, all over Christmas and New Year. And I don't think any of our franchisees, they may have answered calls, but they didn't need to over Christmas and New Year. Their time off to spend times with family because Pillow takes care of it, and that is people 24/7. So, guys, one more thing from Emma, because it's not all about business. We're on holiday, but if I'm bringing the slides back up, one more case study, Emma, please. If you followed Emma, if you're watching this and you've seen Emma's transformation from entrepreneur, business person running about building a business to Instagram influencer and fitness, Fit at 40. If you've seen Emma's social media, you have seen what she did while building a business. Emma, tell us, because it isn't for Pillow, it isn't just about building 6-figure businesses and being super successful and being experts. For some of our franchisees, it's about spending time with family. It's about spending time doing their hobbies, the things they love, building their own portfolio, or in Emma's case, fitness goals. So tell us a little bit about how this has helped you do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to kind of say to you about the different things, people aren't always in it for money. That might not be their main driver. And when I first started, you're 100% right. It wasn't money that was the main driver. That's actually become a really nice byproduct of doing this with Pillow. But my thing was getting that control of my life and going into my fitness goals. So this year in March, I took part in a program called the 12-week peak. Now, the 12-week peak is 12 weeks to get in the best fitness of your life, essentially. So for that, there's a bit of dedication. There's a certain amount of time you have to be outside walking, getting steps in, exercises per week, planning your nutrition. There's actually a lot of time involved in it. Would I have been able to do this if I was working full time for somebody else? No, because I wouldn't have had that flexibility. So what I've been able to do is say, you know what, in the morning, I'm going to make sure that my workout is done in the morning. So I've got that time aside. I am going to make sure that I have my food prepped, and I'm going to go to the shops, and I'm going to go at this time, get all my food in, and then spend my time doing some food prep to make sure my meals are all there. I'm going to attend the gym. I'm going to make sure that I have that time. Again, I've been able to plan that in, and I've got that flexibility. It's been absolutely amazing, and I enjoy the 12-week peak so much that I actually continued thereafter. So it's now become part of my life. Where I train 4 times a week, and that I look after my nutrition, my diet, my health. And again, I would not have been able to do that if I was working for somewhere else and I had to be places at certain times. Now, obviously, when you're running your business, you've got appointments, there's different things that come in, but then I can build everything else around that as well. So it's given me complete and utter flexibility, and it has allowed me to get into the best shape of my life and feel in control of absolutely everything that I'm doing. And as an entrepreneur as well, if you're in control of your health, you're in control of your business. So it kind of works hand in hand with everything, and I wouldn't have it any other way now.
100%. Hard for us to keep going, hard to be not the stresses of Pillow, because Emma is a franchisee with Pillow. However, she also does the training, the mentoring. She's the beating heart of the business. Any of the team watching this would say, well, Scott just makes videos and talks a lot of nonsense. Emma is the brains behind the organisation. I am the beauty. So, but Emma trains, mentors, gives the knowledge back to absolutely everyone. So when you're in Pillow, you would say, well, Emma is more than a franchisee. She runs the business as the operations officer. And again, we're lucky. Emma mentioned fitness. I know my times of day. Now, as a corporate, as a 9-to-5 employee, you're 9-to-5, you're doing a couple of hours travelling, commuting, you're living by somebody else's schedule. And if the team are watching this, you're kind of even my employees need to live by my schedule. The property managers ask us to go on holiday, but the employed property managers are different from the franchisee property managers. They get a lot more autonomy. Me personally, I want to get in the office in Glasgow before 7. I don't want sitting in traffic for 5 minutes, freaks me out. Wasting 10-20 minutes a day, and it would be 20 minutes to get into Glasgow if I left at 8. I'll have to be in the office at 7. I'm going to leave at 2:30, go and do the gym, then I'm going to do 2-3 hours in the evening. That's my perfect life, and franchisees can pick that to a degree as well.
Definitely, and you'll find there's certain times of the day that you perform better as well at certain tasks, and when you have that degree of flexibility, you can use those times accordingly throughout your day as well. You can also have, everyone will know this, you have a day when you go in and you go, I'm just not performing to the best of my ability. And again, you can swap that time. So sometimes if I'm having one of those moments and I think, this isn't my best work that I'm trotting out here, I'll get up, I'll take the dogs, go for a walk, get some fresh air, go back and get back to the task in hand. Or maybe take a few hours and go, I'm going to work 2 hours tonight because I know I'm going to get more out of it as well. And you just don't get that with employment at all.
Perfect, cool. Right, so if I remember correctly, now guys, we are going to come into the Q&A. As we said, if you're watching this in replay, you've already heard 20 hours of my voice. If you're watching me on social media, you've heard hundreds of hours of my voice and me answering these questions. So you're going to get a little insight into this from the person that does this day to day. As the founder of Pillow, I've got a definite passion for this. I've got different answers. I've got different ways of explaining things, and I want to take advantage of Emma being here and give the answers from Emma and not just me. First one, Emma, can I do this part-time?
So I think I've already answered that earlier, is absolutely yes, you can. However, what I would say is that you do need to have a certain amount of time that you can dedicate to it. And I think Scott was explaining earlier on, and I was listening about, can anyone do this? Yes, you can, but there's certain tasks that you have to do. So if you're doing it part-time, you need to be able to attend networking. You need to be able to be doing some stuff on social media. You need to be answering your emails. So yes, 100% part-time, you just need to be able to access everything that you need to do.
And we used the marathon analogy. Could you run a marathon or get a degree in a certain amount, an MBA? Could you do an executive MBA part-time? Yes, you could, but it's going to take you quite a lot longer. If you're going to only train 10% of what somebody else is doing in a marathon, they're going to get there quicker. So you can definitely, and it is set up for that, guys. We are very conscious about people's cash flow, families. We don't want if people can get another income from a business for a couple of weeks or a couple of months until the Pillow franchise starts earning that money, we would love you to do that. So yes, you can do it part-time. Be aware, if you're going to do 25% as the franchisee in the neighbouring area, you're going to have exponentially longer based on that. So can I build my own SA portfolio? This was an interesting one, always interesting from franchisees. Is there a conflict of interest? But will this help you facilitate your own portfolio building?
100%. It will absolutely help you build your own portfolio. You do not need to do that at the beginning. So that's something that's really interesting. And I chose not to do it at the beginning purely because I didn't have the cash flow to build my own portfolio at that time. It's something that I'm now looking into, using the earnings that I've made from Pillow. I'm now in a position to start getting my own SA portfolio. That's something I'm looking to do. We're actually talking that I might even get some here in Cape Verde as well. So it doesn't have to be in the UK. Quite a few of the franchisees do have their own properties, they do have their own SA portfolio, and they run that through the Pillow systems as well. So yes, you absolutely can, but you do not need to do it. The absolutely amazing thing about running a Pillow franchise is the cash flow. Like, you're always in a positive cash flow, you're never paying out for things. So obviously when you start your own SA portfolio, you have things to pay. So it depends on your circumstances, but yes, you can absolutely do it, and it will help leverage your portfolio.
Perfect. Keep your money in your business. Don't take it out and pay loads of tax. Keep it in your business. Buy assets, build wealth, generational wealth. We'll help you build your business and your limited company or LLP, avoiding all those pesky taxes, inheritance tax. Keep it in your business. We have experts, not me, because I can't give financial advice, but the experts within Pillow will help you structure your business to make sure you're paying the minimum amount of tax, keeping the money there, and reinvesting that into assets that you can give to your family for generational wealth. But I'm not going to answer the questions. Let's Emma. So can I work around my children?
Yep.
Easy one.
Absolutely. You can work around your children. In fact, that one's absolutely perfect. So see the thing that I said earlier about the flexi time with the house and office, a lot of the franchisees, even staff members, the ones that are property managers, have their children to drop off at school and they can't be back till 9:30. They need to go in that 3:30 school run. 100%. Can you go to clubs on a Saturday? I always hear it, I've not got children, so I work around my dad. So that's probably the easiest way around my pensioner dad. But I hear people with children going all day Saturday, they're out at sports clubs, they're out at football, dancing classes. Yes, you can, because all you need is your phone. But remember, evenings and weekends, you've got the amazing CX team as well. So they're essentially answering the calls. So if you're doing stuff on a Saturday, you might just have the odd question to answer for them as well. So 100% yes. And that's probably one of the best fits for it as well.
Cool. Okay, let's rattle through, guys. By the way, if you're watching live, please put some questions for Emma in. Now, this slide here, what will my day involve? Normally, and the reason we're doing this, normally you've got a franchise discovery call with me. We talk the high level stuff, and I always want you to get a call with Emma to explain what the day-to-day is. We are building businesses here, and although we get lots of support from Pillow HQ, you are going to need to build a business and do something. So, and what does the day involve? Now, I'm going to split this. We have 3 different mastermind groups, 3 different levels of coaching and mentoring for the franchisees. Well, we have 5, but the 3 I'm going to cover here. Emma's blasted through these 3. She's at a higher level, but your day-to-day, your work will involve very much dependent on what level you are at. So if you're at the launch phase, normally between 0 and 6 months, we want to get you past this stage in 6 months. Part-time, it may take you a year. This is for new franchisees. Emma, what would their day involve there, please?
Yeah, so at the beginning, what you're very much doing there is you're building your business. So you're building your business and you're getting known in your area, cementing yourself as an expert. So the things that you're going to be doing is going to networking events. So you're going to be booking them in, going to networking events. You're going to follow up with the people that you want to talk to. You're going to be very active on social media. And by that, again, letting people know exactly what you do, but also answering questions and being present in the property forums. And again, we teach you all this, what groups to be a member of and what sort of things to say, but you want to get people knowing exactly what you do. From these activities, you will get appointments. And those appointments, you're going to go out and visit people at their property, give them recommendations to set that up as a service accommodation, and give them information on how much money their property will earn with a view to taking them on as a client. Again, all this pricing stuff, don't worry, we teach you all that, the systems and processes, they're all there so that you'll get that knowledge as well. Then again, in your first 6 months, you may have a property to set up. You may have 2 properties to set up. You may have 3. So you'll be going through that process of setting them up, getting them ready for launch with the new property. Again, all of these systems and processes are all there on the system. I think Scott mentioned earlier, they were not there when I started. So I was really kind of, I don't want to say winging it. I was winging it with some expert advice in the background as well. But now that's all documented of exactly what you want to do. So that is essentially what your first kind of 3 to 6 months will be. As the new properties come on, you're then looking for guests, very much more of that in the next stage as well. But you'll be looking for guests using the portals like Airbnb, Booking.com. There's so many, I'm not going to mention them all. And you will be networking with businesses as well to try and get those corporate clients, if that's specific to your area, to get those bookings coming in as well.
Cool. And a big part of your day, guys, is going to be training. One of the very first slides we said is how we're taking people with zero knowledge and making them experts in their region. I don't want any of my franchisees to be outshone, and outperformed by anybody else. So you're going to get, expert coaching, training. You're going to spend a lot of time watching videos, shadowing. Emma mentioned listing properties. Well, once you get to your first 10 properties is one of the benchmarks of getting to the next stage. But we're starting off, you're watching the team doing things for you. They're going to do it on your behalf. You're going to watch and shadow. Then you're going to do lots of things with them there as a training, and looking at things from Pillow and your coaches and mentors doing it, you doing it. And then when you get to the end of the launch stage, we are shadowing you guys. You guys are doing it, and we're there in the background if you need any questions. So lots of training, lots of onboarding, getting set up, getting known in the area. Emma articulated that fantastically well. So moving on now, guys, the growth stage. This is, you've got 10 properties, you've got a certain amount of income, you're pretty much onboarded, you know what you're doing, you know your systems, you've got everything set up. Your first level here, you're in a certain mastermind group, and that as well, fantastic mentor, definitely one of the best in the UK. Love what he's doing with the people starting. You're going to jump in. You're going to jump to your next level mentor, which opens up lots more in the training academy. And we are jumping into the growth phase. You know what you're doing. You're out there about to grow your business, doing less training, but again, lots of lead generation, converting. Emma, tell us about the growth phase.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're still doing everything that's in launch, so you're still doing that, but you're doing that with ease. So that's easy, and you're becoming the expert in your area. So now everyone knows you, and you're getting more and more properties on. You're also cementing those relationships that we were just starting in the launch phase as well, with the businesses and all the different things that are going on in your area. You'll be getting more properties on. You'll be spending a lot of time with your owners. And I say a lot of time, you're speaking to them maybe once a month, letting them know what's going on with your property. You're doing inspections. You're making sure the standard of that property is excellent. You're making sure your guest experience is excellent. So in your growth phase, I would say very much you're practicing excellence, and you're basically perfecting your craft at that stage, which will then bring in, see all the leads and all the kind of lead generation, social media, etc. you did in your launch phase. That will all really be coming to pass now, and you'll get loads of inquiries coming directly to you. And it gets a bit fast and furious at this stage. Always call it almost like the itchy bit when you start to get almost to the 20 properties as well. So this is the bit where it gets kind of fast and furious. You're dealing with guests, you're dealing with owners, but you're still out networking. You're still getting that reputation going as well without losing that.
Perfect. Emma mentioned a bit fast and furious. There's a tipping point. Now, the next stage here is you're established, you're going to have Emma as a mentor. So how amazing is that? You're at the stage where you've got lots of properties, you've got a great amount of income, and all the work that you've done in the last year is now coming. And in some ways, life gets a little bit easier. Why? Because rather than going out and speaking to people and going to networking and trying to get leads on and converting the leads that we give you, because we've got a host liaison manager that does all this, all the leads we pass you, the magic thing where you open your inbox, people know you, things start happening at a much accelerated pace. Your business really accelerates rapidly, and you've got lots of properties to manage, lots of gets, lots of moving parts. And we take the part between the growth and the established stage is where it does get fast and furious. There's a little bit of, we'd say, overwhelm there, but you jump into next level coach. Emma's going to be personally coaching you guys here with this, but income's going to be great, lots of work, and we're in this stage, Emma, we're changing the way we do things. Emma mentioned excellence. We're going to be experts in the pricing software, the PMS, the channel manager. You're going to have relationships with everybody. So there's lots of things, and we're changing the mindset. We perhaps do less sales, perhaps less lead gen. We're moving on to the management. So as we start off, we do more marketing. We need to build our businesses. At this stage, we've built our businesses to a nice degree. That will continue organically. We'll be passing you lots of leads. But at this stage, we are perfecting what we do, time management. Tell us about that's level 3, the established. Tell us about that.
Level 3 established is a lovely place to be honest. And this is where I'd probably say that when you're more laser focused on certain aspects of your portfolio. So when you're looking at this, you're looking at how much money is my portfolio generating? You're looking at every single property, identifying gaps. Go, oh, wait a minute, there's one that's actually not got as many bookings as it should. What can I do to improve that? So you're really getting into the nitty gritty of stuff and into the business development side of things as well. There's a property that might be getting a few complaints. Why is that happening? How can I fix that? Can I work with the owner? So that's the kind of stuff that happens in established. In established, you will also get approached by people that say, I have a block of apartments. Can you manage them? And that is absolutely delightful when you get those sorts of inquiries. Or I have a small B&B, I have a hotel. So you get different types of inquiries. You get much kind of higher level inquiries at that stage as well. But it's, like I say, it's a really nice place to be. Everything's running well. You have your established clients from phase 2. So in your growth, you've got your clients that are coming to you. Sometimes I'm in a position where we have so many inquiries coming in for the portfolio, we cannot fulfill them. And that's just a really nice place because we know that the properties are filled. But as I say, there's always those ones where you'll look at it and go, how can I make that one better? So in this stage, you're always looking for improvements. How can I make that better? How can I make my portfolio more efficient?
Cool, perfect. And I've only mentioned 3 stages here because we don't need to worry about where we are in 2-3 years' time. At Emma's stage, she's at level 5. This is level 3. I'm going to make a little break here because a question comes in, and Emma will answer this one. Do you have any networking tips for people who might find it nerve-wracking? Here, a lot of people struggle with the first steps.
Yeah, and you know, I totally identify with that. So when I first started, I hated networking. You might not believe it, I was super shy and I hated that whole part of it, especially the networkings where you kind of go around and you have to stand up, you say your name, what your business is. Because when you're nervous, when you have to stand up and say what your business is, you forget. You're like, I don't even know what my name is. So again, it can be really hard for people. And I recommend choosing one that feels comfortable. So I always say to people, choose the free events first of all. So don't pay for your networking if you're nervous for the first couple. Go to free events, go to open networkings. So open networkings are not one where you stand up and you say your name and introduce yourself. They're one where you walk in, you're welcomed into the room and you start a discussion with a group of people in small clusters. So always go to an open networking. From there, you will meet people. And make sure you stay in touch with them and ask them, what networking are you going to? Can you take me to the one that you're going to? Go along with them as a guest and somebody will look after you as well. And also remember that every single person in networking has been in the exact same position as you have been as well. I don't think I've been to one that's not been a nice, safe environment, but at first it does seem really daunting. So again, go to free ones first, make some friends, network with people, get to know them and ask them to invite you to the ones that they go to and they will take you into their space.
Nice, and good question. Actually, we have this year, there's a few slides on, guys. This year, we've got 25 full-day masterclasses. They're every 2 weeks. We'll tell you about that in a little bit. But 2 of those this year. One is Natural Networker, and I think one later in the year is Number 1 Networker. So Emma will do some role play, some case studies. When you come up for your 2-day onboarding, we do calls about this, mentoring, training. So Robbie's right to ask that question. Starting off, you might find it nerve-wracking. You don't need to worry. It's not just property that we teach and train and mentor. What I can tell you, same as Emma, nobody in the UK was more scared and nervous and insecure than me when I started going to networking back in 2003, I think. 2003, yes, I was fucking terrified. Now, it's the easiest thing in the world. It's time to shine. So great question. Right, let's crack on. Get the last few questions here. Who will be in my team? The reason we've built this network, Emma, is to just get the UK's best people in. I've put some slides up here. Hopefully you can see them. This is various events and things we do. Emma, tell us a little bit about the team behind it from a franchisee's point of view, rather than me telling, hey, here's my amazing employees.
So like as Scott says, there's some amazing people in Pillow. You've got an amazing team behind you. We mentioned the CX team. So the CX team are customer experience. So they're there helping you in the background, answering calls. They're also there to answer any questions that you have as well. We have the HQ team in general. So we've got an accounts team. So they're there to help you with accounts questions and invoicing, loads of magic stuff they do there. HQ team, we've got people who will train on specific systems. So you've got people there that will support you on using the portals when it gets to your time to do that as well. You have the marketing team as well. So we've got an amazing marketing team who can help you with your social media, who can help you promote a property. So when I mentioned when you're laser focusing in and you notice one that's not booking, you can speak to your marketing team. They can help you. Again, Robbie mentioned the networking. Not everyone is an expert on social media. We have people there to help you as well. You have so many people at your disposal, and something about Pillow is that everyone is just lovely. We always talk about it being a family, and that's exactly what it is. And everyone that comes in always says they can't believe how helpful every single person in the organisation is. So what I would say is you'll always get somebody to help you with absolutely everything. We work on an app called Workplace. We have support groups in there, so you can ask questions 24/7. And the people that join, so all your people in phase 1, they're asking all the questions. When they kind of go up to group 2 and group 3, they're answering the questions for the people who come in group 1 as well. So you have an absolutely massive team. And we talked about the solopreneur being on your own. It's really not like that in Pillow at all. It's almost like having your own business, but with the connections that you get being employed.
Fantastic. Listen, I speak about this in the videos. Emma's articulated that much better than I ever did. If you've watched the franchise discovery videos, I think that is an amazing answer. So I really, really value what Emma has said there. Coming to the last few here, will I get full training? Now, we have mentioned this. I'm just going to bring this slide up. Emma, we'll go into it for 60 seconds, but this is the one now. This is the first week in January. The second week in January, I am doing listings lift off from here, from Cape Verde. Just because I'm in holiday does not mean to say you do not get your 25 masterclasses. If you look closely enough here, you'll see the 2 we spoke about previous, which was Natural Networker, number 1 Networker. We're going to be doing these probably with experts coming in to teach you. So training, I think you'll get more training than you can ever take advantage. When you do level 1, you'll absorb this, the start. But when you get to growth and establish, you won't have time to do the training.
I think as well to mention that the people who are most successful at this as well, again, Scott mentioned, can anyone do this? The more training, especially in your level 1, when you're in your launch phase, go to as much of the training as possible, because this is the stuff that will make you successful. This is the stuff that makes the wording and the terminology and just the way that we talk. I knew nothing about this when I started. So having all this and just listening to people, listening to the words that you use, it sinks into your brain. And the next thing you're at an appointment and you say something, like, I didn't even know I knew those words, because you're learning and absorbing absolutely everything. So go to as much of this as you can. And I know with the guarantee, there's a certain percentage that you should be attending. So just make sure you go to as much as possible.
Perfect. And this one here, how's that going to work? Well, we'll be doing full day training. We're going to pause. We're going to get workbooks. You get editable workbooks. We're going to get tasks. You're going to get things to do. You're going to get research. So it isn't just about watching and listening. You're going to get loads of stuff sent out in the post. These 25 full-day masterclasses are 10% of the training you're going to get. But listings left off, I'm looking forward to doing it. Probably not at the balcony, I'll be here all day, but we'll get the venue, we'll get somewhere nice, and we'll be working together as a team live. All got uploaded forward into the training academy. You can watch it, you can download absolutely everything. You can see all the training from years gone by. So moving on, guys, anybody that's spoken to me will know I'm very passionate about what we do at Pillow. We've got our own charity, and we raise a lot of money. Owners donate time, guests do amazing things, the team donate the time. If you don't see what the team were doing out at Loaves and Fishes, to 11 o'clock at night, guys. I'm super passionate about this, and the team always put timers on to say, shut the fuck up about the charity. People want to talk about business. Emma, I want to talk about the charity and the social impact from your point of view, please.
Well, yeah, from my point of view, it's really magical to be in a position where you've got your service accommodation business and we're all here to earn money. That's absolutely amazing. But how amazing is it to earn money and be able to give back at the same time? And that is the thing that Pillow Safe Havens has enabled for us. So as an entrepreneur, you can genuinely give back to these communities that you're working in. We've worked with various charities, I've worked with the Beatson charity, and we've done different things where we've fundraised on their behalf through Safe Havens. We've also done things with the team where we've climbed Tintall Hill, we've done various fundraisers. We did stuff for children's charities recently where people are dropping stuff off in the office. And we also ask all of our owners as well to donate 1 week of their property to good causes. And that's a really nice thing for the property owners as well. And again, when you're in phase 1 and phase 2, when you're telling the owners that something's really important to us is to be able to give back to the communities, I find that really, really excites the owners because they genuinely want to give back as well. And it means we're attracting the owners with the same values as us as well, which is really nice. And again, like I say, just being able to give back is absolutely magical. There's so much we can do and so much that I could say about the charity as well. Thinking of all the different things that we've done, like climbing Tintall Hill, we deliver Christmas meals to the elderly one year. Some of the stuff, we've actually done stuff through Safe Havens here in Cape Verde as well. Yep. And as a franchisee, you can choose a cause that's really close to your heart. So some of the things, like for me, I said I don't have children, so I always like to work with animal charities as well, and that's something that I've done over here in Cape Verde. I'm one of the local food banks that Scott's already mentioned, Loaves and Fishes. I like to do a lot of stuff with them, so we're able to fundraise, but sometimes we're working, almost think of it as a feeder charity where we can facilitate the fundraising, but the other charities can deliver the work for us as well.
Yeah, and I'll run through to get my phone there, guys. I want to give you, these aren't our franchisees, these are potential franchisees. And I asked them, I sent the email, you may be one of these watching. What would you like to do as charities? So Lisa was wanting to do, and I'll give them a shout out, Rain Rescue, Animal Rescue Centre for Cats and Dogs. Lisa did that. Darryl had mentioned Seb, I won't spend too much time. St Vincent's Centre in Leeds, looking after people with physical, learning, mental difficulties, migrants, refugees, ex-offenders, the homeless, victims of sexual violence, domestic abuse, debt trouble, everything. So I won't go into, but we have a list of our new franchisees that are hopefully joining us and the charities and the good causes that they would want to support. Guys, you get to do that as well. So one of the big things we do. And I think that should lead us next to this slide here. Who is a good fit for Pillow? Now, Emma will give a different answer to this than me. My answer here of who's a good fit, there's a nice saying I have, get in where you fit in. And if you're looking at this thinking I want to be the big I am with Lamborghinis and Rolexes and do that type of thing, Pillow's probably not a good fit for you. And I'm being super harsh, it may be, but genuinely, when we're attracting people, get in where you fit in. People, it's more about the charity and social impact and being part of a family and something amazing than it is, will this facilitate me getting a Lambo? And when people ask me those questions, how quickly can I buy a Rolex? We probably know it's not a good fit. Emma, 60 seconds on who you think is an ideal fit for the franchise.
Yeah, I think some of the stuff you said there actually was pretty similar to mine. Get in where you fit in, be part of the family, be a good egg, if you've ever heard that phrase. And I say to a lot of people when they get to the stage that I'm talking to them about the franchise, I can coach you absolutely anything to do with the business. I can coach you anything to do with property management. I can't coach you to be a good person because you either are or you aren't as well. So if you feel that the stuff that we've spoken about, the charities, our value, the training, then it's the right place for you as well. So someone that aligns with our values, with a little bit of ambition, a little bit of drive to succeed, and who wants to work as part of a team. And I think that's really important as well. We talk about Pillow family, be a team player. If you're out on your own, you're probably not for us as well.
Cool, perfect. And I think you can see the sun coming around here now. So rather than making Emma and I swelter, I will whiz through.
Starting to melt a wee bit.
Emma, I will let you go because you're in the sun and I'm not, so that's unfair. But guys, let me just say cheerio to Emma. Come back. If you're watching live, I think Emma's added super Maria. I'm super proud of what she's done today. I love her being part of the team. So I'll wrap up, Emma. I'll let you get into the shade because I've been drinking water. Emma's been talking. So Emma's a key part of the team here, most successful franchisee, loads to give you. She's a level 3 coach, so she's a level. Emma's not been working on her business while she's here. She's been helping other people, answering the support chat, coaching some of the new franchisees, giving her time freely. We know if we give her time freely, she gets it back tenfold in Pillow. So, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. Sun is on my neck. Any final questions, please pop them in. What is the next stages here, guys? You would have seen that I did discovery calls last week. Tie them up for this week. We've got some next week. If you're watching on the replay in the video, next stage is a discovery call. You've watched enough, you've seen enough content. It's time for us to chat. You get a 45-minute call with myself and then Emma, asking any questions about your region. And guys, I'll put a little thing in the chat for the live. If you're here, are you a good fit for Pillow? Well, we've done this very simply. We have done a little survey. It takes you less than 3 minutes to do. And guys, the Pillow franchise score up there. Go in 3 minutes. 16 questions. This will tell you and I whether, one, you're a good fit for Pillow on the whole and we're a good fit for you. Secondly, is the time right? There's many people I've been chatting to between Christmas and New Year and yesterday that, yes, I can't wait, but I need to wait a month for different reasons. Well, that's fine. We are here for the long term. We're one of the longest established SA management companies in the industry. We'll be here long after everyone else goes, guys. I can guarantee that. So book in a franchise discovery call. If you're booking in calls, especially if I'm on holiday, make sure the £50,000 questions don't come with stupid, small, daft questions. We will iron these out. As Emma says, guys, the intricacies of this, setting up a serviced accommodation business and having a 6-figure business can't be discussed. We can't go into the details and the nitty-gritty, the tiny parts of that on a call. That will all come in the training. So think what will be covered in the training, but what do I need to know? My region, find if it's a good fit. Nice and simple, guys. And let me put the link for that call. And that comes straight to me, guys. I like to do the calls in the first instance. A few people had said, Scott, why are you doing all these calls yourself? Give them to your team. I just love doing the franchise discovery calls. I want to make sure people are a fit. I want them to see the leader and the founder of the business. In the very first instance, you get access to me. You can follow me in social media. We don't have any secrets. So I'll put my final details up here, guys. Follow us. You'll see we went and did the dog charity thing yesterday. Very emotional. So I may have a tear in my eye as I post that. There is my Instagram. If you're looking in other platforms, here is my Facebook. Guys, follow us, see behind the scenes. We are a super open and transparent business. I'm popping name in. This is the last slide. Don't worry about the guarantee. If you're watching this and love the sound of this and don't know what we're talking about, go and watch the other videos of franchise webinars. Go and sign up for those. Guys, thank you. This is the last slide. I want to thank you for your time. It's actually made my holiday doing this. I can go and relax. It's now 5 to 12 on a Friday. What cocktails are we going to go and have? A pina colada and relax. So thank you very much for your time, guys. I want to give a shout out to Emma. You've seen enough of me, but I think Emma has added massive value here. And if you're watching back on the replays, you can also book in a call with Emma if you'd rather speak to her than me. I'm not precious about that. I always say, much better spending 45 minutes chatting to Emma than me on the discovery calls. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic weekend and have a fantastic 2024.